The next item is item number 2, application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Brooklyn, docket number 15-1042, block 2058, lot 1, 365 Bridge Street, the former Long Island headquarters of New York Telephone Company, an individual landmark, an Art Deco-style office tower designed by Ralph Walker and built in 1929 to 30. This is an application to alter storefront openings and install new ground floor infill.
Fred's out. He worked on this building.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Take your, hold on.
Oh.
Recusal? Whoops.
Oh.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, good morning, Commissioners. Hillary Paget, Preservation Department staff. The subject property is on the southwest corner of the block at the corner of Willoughby Street and Bridge Street, so Willoughby and Bridge. The plan, this is facing Bridge Street. Current elevations and photographs show the storefronts facing Bridge Street. The applicant proposes removing a portion of the existing stone and metal bulkhead at 2 of the storefront openings, or these 2 bays. And the same scope of work was approved in conjunction with other work at the base of the building at a hearing in December of 2005, and certificate of appropriateness 070183 was issued in July of 2006. The applicants have completed the majority of the work approved under that permit before it expired on December 6, 2011. Michael Kennard, architect, is here to present the proposal to you.
Okay, thank you. Up there, and the hearing is open. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
My name is Michael Conard. I'm the Senior Principal of Design Conservatism, on the staff or faculty of Columbia School of Architecture, and a Principal Investigator at the Earth Institute. I'm here today to present to you the proposal to open 2 storefronts on Bridge Street. This was a project, as Hillary had said, that was originally approved. There was a certificate, an amendment that was admitted right before the expiration date, and so with confusion from the owner, the work was not completed. This is a proposal to complete that work that was originally approved. The proposal is to open up the storefront in these 2 locations to selectively and surgically remove a small section of the stone base, to introduce a steel support structure, slim profile behind the decorative mullion, and to introduce a tripartite entrance with chrome and glass with a small painted sign above.
Oh, really?
This was as originally proposed. It seemed smart, modest, and respectful, but just a little different to propose something that was not conflicting with the original building. The commission found that the removal of a small amount of the fabric to accommodate the new use would not cause a significant loss of architectural features. That the glass doors proposed for the altar storefront opening on Bridge Street would maintain a tripartite composition historic storefront. So that was originally proposed.
Okay. Doing exactly what had expired. Yeah, essentially, without substantive change, correct?
The application was a very large application
Yeah.
for the adaptive reuse of the building, and it included storefront changes as well as changes throughout the building, new windows, HVAC equipment, and so most of that work has already been completed, and the sort of 2 remaining parts are these 2 storefront bays, which were not completed prior to the expiration date.
Okay.
It appears that the cuts have already been made in the base stone. Is the intent to salvage that and the metal above it so that it could be reinstalled at some point in the future, possibly?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The Community Board, Land Use and Executive Committee unanimous approval. I think it looked good, whatever, 6 years ago, it looks fine now. Anybody disagree? Okay. So as soon as we have a quorum issue and get 2 further commissioners, we'll take an action, close the hearing now. Motion second. Thank you. Okay, thanks. Oh, whoa, testimony, no, not on that. Excuse me. I thought you had Bridge Street. I mean, it's confusing on the numbers here.
The numbers are switched on the agenda.
This is,
This is number 3.
oh no, you did want it. Sorry. No, not at all. Hearing back open, thank you.
Good morning. Barbara Zay of the Historic Districts Council. HDC finds the transformation of these windows into doors to be appropriate, but would prefer to see more detail incorporated into the design of the very plain glass doors and side lights. In order to maintain the sight lines of the base and decorative panel across the windows, a panel or etching of the historic pattern on the new door would reference and retain the rhythm of the original window base. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody want to change what they said or add to what they said? Okay. Thank you. Hearing closed again. Thank you. Fred's coming back. Yeah.
Has to leave for 2.
It's alternating recusals.
All right, the next item is item number 2. This was an application for a certificate of appropriateness in the Borough of Brooklyn, docket number 15-1042, 365 Bridge Street, the former Long Island headquarters of the New York Telephone Company, an individual landmark. And this was an application to alter 2 storefront openings. This work was initially approved as part of a larger adaptive reuse project, and most of that work has been completed, and these are the 2 remaining elements that have not been completed, and the permit has expired, and that is why this is before you today. And again, the consensus of the 4 commissioners present was to recommend approval.
So the permit had expired. It's not changed here,
Correct.
and we're being asked to find it appropriate. And there was a consensus that it was. It approved it before, approve it again. You want to summarize it very fast?
Sure.
please? Thank you.
So these 2 bays on Bridge Street are the ones that are going to be altered. They're removing a portion of the metal panel and also at the granite base for each one of these, and then installing a new glass and metal storefront entry. They're also proposing some painted signage in the transom.
Some what?
Painted signage in the transom, but that could be reviewed at staff.
Staff level? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think the changes are comparatively minor and that they are appropriate and reversible if need be in the future. So I
Okay.
think and it was a previous permit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Berta? Okay. Marjorie, if you do this, 3, please.
In the matter of a certificate of appropriateness for 365 Bridge Street, AKA 97 to 105 Willoughby Street in the former Long Island headquarters of the New York Telephone Company, an individual landmark. The application is to alter storefront openings and install new ground floor infill. I recommend approval, finding that the removal of small amounts of historic fabric at 2 storefront display windows to accommodate new retail entrances on Bridge Street will not cause a significant loss of architectural features. That the installation of glass doors within the altered storefront openings on Bridge Street will maintain the tripartite composition of the historic storefronts. That the proposed work was previously approved as part of a larger scope of work at the base of the building that has been largely completed, but for which the permit has expired, and that the work will not detract from the special architectural and historic character of the building.
Second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Approved. Thank you. What's the last one now? We have one?
Okay, so the next item is item number 7, and this is an application.